Welcome to Talk Exchange. I'm excited you tuned into this episode. I'm Tracey Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club. This episode in particular is timely because the National Exchange Club, at our national convention coming up in July, we will elect the next national president-elect, the person who will serve as the 2024-25 national president. I'm joined today by the candidates who applied for this position by the deadline, and they are Joe Dudek, Gary Leonard, Mike Reichek, and Jennifer Sweney. Welcome, everyone. And I should
Hello.
note,
Hello.
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 And
Hello.
if you are watching this episode due to technical difficulties, we have Gary on the phone. So welcome, candidates. It's great to have you with us today.
Great to be here.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your interest in serving as a leader in the National Exchange Club. Of course, you've all served at the required levels. So we appreciate your interest in leadership in the National Exchange Club and your involvement up until now. I know, having known each of you personally, I appreciate your dedication and your commitment and your ideas to benefit exchange. So we're going to start today by giving each of you 1 minute to answer the question, why should a member vote for you? And we'll start just going clockwise on my screen. Mike, why should a member vote for you?
Well, I'm assuming, like everybody, I'm committed to the future success of exchange. I'm not just interested in being a cheerleader, but a national president who's focused on actually taking concrete steps to move the organization forward. My plan is to better promote the vast tools that we already have that I believe are being minimally utilized in terms of growth and management of clubs and districts. And I have a number of ideas that I believe will move the organization forward by becoming more member success focused.
Thank you. We do have some tools, don't we?
We certainly do.
Excellent. Thank you.
Lots of tools.
Lots of tools.
Minimally utilized, lots of tools.
Indeed.
We've talked
And
about
Joe?
that before.
Joe, why should a member vote for you?
Tracy, thank you. Members should vote for me because I'm a 20-year Exchange Club member with over 15 years of local club leadership, including chairman of many successful fundraising events, which I'm still involved with as a member of 8 clubs, along with district leaderships as the only VFR supporting 2 districts now. And along with my national leadership, having been on both the National Board of Directors and now on the Foundation Board. I'm currently Executive Director of the Exchange Club Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse of Southern Connecticut, and bring a strong background of over 30 years of successfully running and growing businesses in both corporate and the business world, with the nonprofit business world as well. So I also have a 3-year strategic plan to help address our 3 most important issues, which are how to build new clubs and increase membership, how to increase visibility and engagement in our clubs and communities, and how to raise money for our clubs, districts, and the National Exchange Club. And
Thank you, Joe.
this is just a starting point
Thank you,
for
Joe.
why members should vote for me.
Thank you. And Jennifer, why should members vote for you?
Well, Tracy, I've been involved with Exchange for about 23 years. And of course, I've served in many leadership positions as well. 4 years as the Regional Vice President of Region 7. I'm also a volunteer field representative of VFR. I've mentored many, many members and clubs along the way. And what I bring is a fun and enthusiastic personality, along with my heart and soul to Exchange. I'm excited to continue the growth path that the previous presidents have already set. And I believe that my out-of-the-box thinking and ingenuity will strengthen the organization and allow us to serve our communities in new and innovative ways.
Thank you, Jennifer. And Gary, why should a member vote for you?
I'm no different than many of the other candidates you've heard from. We all have great paths in exchange. We've all been club leaders. We've all been district leaders, and likewise also RVPs of major districts. So we have all the prerequisite experiences, I think, that you see. I think one of the things that might hold me a little bit unique compared to some of the other leaders is that I have a strong history of bridging the gap between what we have been doing to where we need to be going. And that's because I've been able to secure a commitment from people to make the difference in that change between their behaviors, between the tools they bring to it, to also prepare ourselves for the future needs of our communities and our members. That divide is what often holds us back. We've got to look at ways to bridge our leaders of the past for the future leaders of the present.
Thank you, Gary. Excellent, each of you. I appreciated those answers. We heard some of the same words. We heard past and present, and we heard unique. So, given that, what would you say makes your leadership style unique from others we have seen in the past? So, I'm going to go in a different direction. Well, I probably should stay in the same direction. So, Mike, what will make your leadership style unique from others we have seen in the past?
Well, I guess I call it respectful accountability. All too often, in an effort to be a nice guy or gal, it seems we accept a less than expected effort from those who make a commitment to do something, whether it's a member of a team or an officer at either the club or the district or national level. And I think we must respectfully hold others as well as ourselves accountable to actually do what we say we're going to do and get what we agree to get done. I realize we're mostly all volunteers, but others who are doing what they've agreed to are counting on us. So I just call it respectful accountability. And too many times we let people off the hook. They volunteer to do something and they don't follow through. And in my experience, at least, at the end of the day, they dump it back in your lap. So I think we've got to be accountable as things progress.
Thank you. And Joe, what will make your leadership style unique?
Thank you, Tracy. My leadership is unique as I bring both a nonprofit and corporate leadership experience to this position. I'm currently an executive director at a center, able to grow a center over the past several years to new programs and help our communities in new and very effective ways. In my corporate life, I was able to grow a very small division into a much larger multi-million-dollar division. And through that was able to get people involved with all the properties of what was necessary in order to do that and grow a business as we want to grow Exchange in the same way. I have motivated people in many different ways. I'm a servant leader where I help people with where they are and what they would like to do, which I think is the most important thing, is how to help people contribute to Exchange in the way they want to help themselves, their club, and grow Exchanges many different ways.
Time. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
And Jennifer, what will make your leadership style unique?
Well, I'm not sure my style will be unique, but more of a compliment to those who have served in the past. So I really like to listen to the members and give them the peace of mind and confidence in knowing that their ideas, their suggestions, and their concerns have really been heard. And since this is a member-driven organization, the members need to know that the national leadership has their best interests at heart and will be as efficient and transparent as possible in relaying information to all the club members.
Thank you. And Gary, what will make your leadership style unique?
But my interesting past history has been basically being assigned by a superior to me to go in to be a transitional agent of change between current past leadership and where they want us to go as an enterprise or as a school. I think that's a little bit different though when you start looking at Exchange, because that's usually a long-term commitment of maybe 3 to 5 years. Since we really only have one direct year as president, that changes a little bit the way that I think I would have to operate. First of all, I think we always have to realize, just as Jennifer said, we are a member-driven organization, but our service is more directly to the regions and also to our districts and to our clubs. The clubs are really the conduit to be able to reach members more directly, because that leadership has that understanding of what they need and what they need to do. I think my leadership style will not be necessarily totally unique. We're looking at being able to help the leaders at every level, especially club level, be able to transition themselves and making their club more beneficial to their community.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, next we'll go to talk. Excellent job, all of you, by the way. It's hard for me, and Christy's off camera timing. It's hard for me not to just keep saying great, awesome, great job each time. I'm staying politically correct here. So all of you are doing an awesome job. Okay, so moving on, we'll talk now We'll move now to some of Exchange's obstacles. You've all been involved at the leadership level. You've seen that everything's not perfect. You've certainly seen some challenges. So, thinking about Exchange's obstacles, to you, what stands out? And what would you say are realistic approaches to overcoming those challenges? So, Mike.
Well, I think that, first of all, we have to realize that COVID has impacted and still impacts us going forward, and that many of our members and potential members might still be struggling as a result. We need to better instill in our members a sense of what I just call customer service, realizing that each of us are one another's customers in this service business in which we're all invested. We need to ensure that the divisiveness that has become all too common in society will not be allowed to infect exchange. And we need to continue our efforts for inclusion so all our members not only feel welcome and appreciated, but know that any guest they might bring to exchange will feel the same, regardless if they're friends or neighbors or business associates. So I think those are some of our obstacles.
Thank you. And Joe, same question for you.
Thank you. Um, Our obstacles are that we really don't promote ourselves enough in our local communities. We do such great work and support in our communities. And for most of our clubs, the Exchange Club is not recognized as a real asset or leader in their community, unfortunately. Many people in our communities have never even heard of the Exchange Club, and we need to change that. Again, part of my strategy is to bring a realistic plan and approach to, over time, raise visibility and engagement of all of our clubs and districts while building the clubs and raising funds to support all the programs of service in our national project to help be a strong exchange nation.
Thank you. Jennifer, same question.
Well, when I think of this question, leadership development at the club and district levels come to mind. The headquarters staff, of course, does an amazing job with the monthly trainings that they do for the district presidents and president-elects. But it's the getting people to that level that we need to work on. And I think more time could possibly be spent with the district directors at their level to try and train them a little better to recognize and to mentor potential leaders that they see in their respective clubs. And so building relationships and getting to know the members in their specific division on a personal level will help them to identify those potential leaders and better equip the district with a succession plan.
Thank you. Gary, same question to you.
I'm very similar to the same concerns that my colleagues and peers have also talked about. Getting the word out. Sometimes we are our own worst PR person. Personal interest in that is because of having worked in the media PR here in Exchange Club of Charleston, the Coast Carolina Fair. We get a lot of things out in the newspaper. We also get a lot of items into the newspaper. But what we sometimes break down is not being able to get the word to the people who are probably closest to us. So we started doing, though, with our Ames grant, is having those particular, nonprofits put in their newsletters and on their websites what we've done to support them. That gives us a broader coverage. Another thing we've also done is try to work together with other clubs to bring in more clubs and members together to work on a project. That tends to also bring more interest by the local media. The other problem I think we also look at is we tend to be somewhat insular. We work alone. We're a club only. We don't realize there's lots of partnerships we need in our community to make the difference in there, to make our community a better place to live.
Excellent job, each of you. Thank you. You're coming up with some great stuff. So let's talk about your club experience. What does your own club do to attract membership, and how's it going? Mike?
Well, we try to advertise quite a bit. We try to encourage folks to obviously bring guests. We work, we do some fellowship with other clubs in the area, having socials, et cetera, and bringing people in and making sure that they leave with materials that really kind of reinforce what we've talked to them about. We just try to be as, I guess, friendly. Sometimes, people can end up in their own little groups and be perceived as cliques, and we oftentimes remind people that, we talk about you can't sit there. We want to make sure that none of that happens. And then we try to gather the information to follow up with people, see if they've got any questions. If have been to a social, maybe invite them to a lunch or a dinner or a meal. Just trying to be
Thank
friendly
you.
forward.
Joe, same question to you.
Thank you, Tracy. So, our Norwalk Club has done something kind of drastic for the club recently. They changed the meetings out of their old meeting place of a hotel. A conference room where we had our dinners twice a month, and put them out into the community to be more visible. Specifically, so we would be in the community. So we do one meeting a month in a business meeting, restaurant environment where we are seen in the community with our signage, and then once a month out into the community in another restaurant area where we can be and do more of a happy hour interconnection with the community through that visibility and moving around to different restaurants within the area and neighborhoods within our community. So it's really paying off well as our visibility is rising. We're getting a lot more people interested in what we do through that visibility of just our meetings now.
Thank you. Jennifer, same question to you.
The two clubs that I belong to, we participate in all kinds of activities and projects in and around the different regions of our community. We do the information booths at various events where we get to meet parents, we get to meet other nonprofit community organizers. We host a motorcycle poker run, so we get to talk with bikers about our programs. We have speakers at our club meetings from different organizations from the community who they help at-risk youth, they help seniors, they help the homeless population. So all of our events are used as a membership recruitment opportunity, and we're armed with the brochures, the elevator speeches, and everything else to make every attempt to bring the awesomeness of what is exchanged to others.
Thank you. Gary, same question to you.
Well, like many of my peers there, we also realize we have to change the things we're doing to be able to get the types of members we want to come into exchange. I belong to 3 clubs. They all have a unique way of being able to try to attract members. So I'm going to try and pull some of the best things from those 3. One club is an evening club. It's primarily couples, and it really starts out with a very simple program, a business program, and maybe a speaker from a nonprofit that we're interested in bringing the information to our members. Then we have a supper together, and people socialize a great deal. That tends to bring in lots of other couples, which is also diversity of ages, and also from our communities. We're a very large area in the greater Charleston area. Another club is looked very much at focusing on younger population and also in areas of that not often reached by us. And that club has been really making a strong effort to do that. Most of our members are coming in now that are probably 20 years younger than the average person coming in before, which is a significant jump for us.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, moving on to the next question. What excites you about the future of exchange, Mike?
Well, I think that what excites me is the massive opportunity that we have to serve our members in exchange as well as personal and professional development. The opportunity to build strong relationship with new friends and possible business associates, on top of the incredible opportunity to positively affect our own individual communities and America as well through exchanges, programs of service, through our national project. Just like I said, the massive opportunity in front of us is what excites me.
Thank you. Joe?
Tracy, thank you. Honestly, everything excites me about the future of exchange because I've seen firsthand many of the wonderful programs our clubs do in our local communities to support our children's programs and scholarships, along with the amazing support in honoring our military veterans and first responders, and all the awesome community service programs across the country our clubs do. But especially the future of our child abuse prevention program and network of agencies providing valuable services to support families, provide a safe, healthy, and loving environment for their families and themselves, which is so important currently in our culture. And Exchange has that opportunity to do all these changes by just raising visibility of the great work we do.
Thank you. Jennifer, same question to you.
Yeah, so the fact that we have so much room for growth. We're not in every community yet. And so once we, get the steps down to perfection on how to build the clubs and how to recruit members, there's just no stopping us. We're just going to take over the nation. So we already know that the work that our clubs do has a great impact on the quality of life for people living in those communities. And by growing our organization to every community in the country, we can further that impact and we can help thousands or tens of thousands of people across the nation.
Thank you. Gary, same question for you. What excites you about the future of exchange?
The most unique thing to me and the most exciting thing I can think about is of all the service clubs I'm aware of through talking with friends or being members of those in the past, I think we're most uniquely capable and centered to be able to be the difference makers in our diverse needs of our community. Our communities are not the same as where we were 20, 30 years ago. Populations have changed. Industry has changed. And the uniqueness of exchange is we had that capability to make those changes through growth into areas that are not represented, into populations that are underserved. We are the service providers of the future for our communities.
Thank you. Next, we're doing great on time. Thanks for staying within the framework there. Let's go to this question. What do you wish clubs would do more of? Mike.
Well, what do I wish clubs would do more of? I guess I wish clubs would ensure that the committee structure that already exists really be implemented and sustained. We need to ensure that our members, both the new ones and the old ones who've joined our community service organization, be offered more opportunities to get involved, as I believe involvement is the key to retention, and retention is the key to our growth. Historically, Exchange has done a pretty good job of attracting new members, but if we're losing members at the same rate, significant growth becomes really difficult. We need to undertake to better understand what need our members have that we are not meeting such that they decide to leave. The old adage about keeping an existing customer happy is easier than finding a new one applies. It's not an either or though, so we just need to imagine being better at both.
Thank you. Joe?
Thank you, Tracy. I wish clubs would promote themselves more often and partner with other local community organizations to help raise their visibility on all their activities, their fundraisers and services and donations that they do in support of their local community. That's very, very important, the visibility of all the exchange clubs. I also wish the exchange clubs would have more involvement with the local chambers as a way to engage local businesses and to increase membership and donations. The National Exchange Club started as a business networking organization, and while that may not be the core of who we are, it still is part of the fundamentals, and it is a great model to engage the community through businesses and get those businesses involved in the community and also get some donations at the same time.
Thank you. Jennifer, same question.
Yeah, kind of a similar response too. I really wish that clubs would publicize their accomplishments. It's been said that we're the best kept secret in the community service industry, and I just believe that because we're just a humble bunch. We are comfortable in the background with the boots on the ground. We're not so comfortable being in the spotlight and being recognized for what we do in our own neighborhoods. A person has to see an ad, right? Or a name of a company like 7 times before it registers in their mind. Well, that needs to be a goal of our clubs to get their name out in front of potential members, social media, newspapers, billboards, any type of media that will pique people's interest. And they need to do this often, not just a couple times a year, but making a conscious effort weekly, putting together a strategic marketing plan to make posts and send
Thank you,
press
Jennifer.
releases and things. Thanks.
Gary, same question for you.
Well, it's hard to add to some great ideas, and obviously some great thought have been put into my fellow members. I want to go back, though, and talk about we can't always do what we've always done and expect different results. And I think that's because we've really not looked at who we're serving and who we want to serve. And that's because will cause us to become more involved in community involvement and also working with more partners. So I think that's essential to us. The other thing, we have to really look at our membership. We're very aware that we lose members because of their age, their lack of interest, variety of reasons. But we need to try and keep them as engaged as much, but also by engaging them in conversations, calling them, let them know about our interests and what they're interested in, and see how we can work together to make those differences. And also, we have to educate our members. It's not just about, the professional development as Exchange Club future officer, but it's also knowing more about Exchange to sell that to our communities. If I'm involved, I should have enough understanding of what we're doing to show why we can make a difference.
Next up, my favorite question. How would a person in your own club describe you? If we talk to somebody in your own club, what will they say about you? This could be fun. Mike.
Well, or do you mean what would they say, or what do we hope they would say?
Right.
So I hope that for my years in Exchange that they'd say I'm engaged, I'm articulate, I'm dependable. I think they would say Mike does what he says he's going to do, and he doesn't make excuses. He gets it done. I try to hold others accountable as well for what they've agreed to do, subtly, usually, hopefully. I hope they'd say that I'm friendly and fun-loving, always trying to have a good time with those who are around me.
Thank you. Joe, same question. How would someone in your club describe you?
Thank you, Tracy. A member of my home club in Norwalk would say that I'm extremely supportive of the club's leadership and dedicated to the club's success, along with supporting the Prevention of Child Abuse Center. Those two key points that I always try to support the club as best as possible. They would describe me as a strong advocate and supporter of our involvement in the Connecticut District and the National Exchange Club, and that I'm a strong leader in the club and local community, helping advance the vision and mission of the Exchange Club, not just in the club, but in the community, to all those that are not aware of Exchange.
Thank you. Jennifer, how would someone in your club describe you?
Well, I don't know if I can fill a whole minute of what people say about me, but I've been described in the past as a leader, a motivator, a friend. And now I'm at the point where I'm actually the go-to person for everything Exchange. It used to be another gal in my club, and now it's me, because I've been in Exchange for 23 plus years, and they know that I've been at every level. They know I know Exchange, and so they also call on me to do the member inductions, because I do it with such enthusiasm, and I do it to make the new member feel warm, welcomed, and valued. So, we can go on and on about all the great things that we do.
Thank you. Gary, same question. How would someone in your club describe you?
Well, first, I would like to say to my fellow president candidates, you pretty well describe yourself. I also see you through my eyes. So I compliment you on your thoughts and what you've shared with us. Very quickly, what do I think my members would talk with me about or think about me? Is one, I'm loyal. I'm a team worker. I know when to lead and I know when to follow. They also know that if they come to me and ask my opinion, I will share it with them in a way that helps them understand why I believe that. Likewise, they know in our conversations what we share with each other remains with me secret and is not divulged at any time. And I think that's a huge commitment to make sure that we are loyal, but also take great value in being a person that comes to and asks questions and what should we possibly do. They don't always take it, but they do come to me.
Thank you. Excellent answers again, candidates. We appreciate that. Thanks to Christy Linda, our communications director, who's effectively timing to make sure we keep things very fair as we do at the National Exchange Club. Christy, how about we get 30 seconds on the clock and we'll go around and let everyone give a closing comment. So
I like it.
I like it too. Excellent. So we'll get 30 minutes on the timer.
Oh, we're not giving them 30 minutes. We'll
No,
give them
30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's true. Thanks too to Brad Augustiniak here at Aplos, our partner in producing these Talk Exchange episodes. It's been really fun and an awesome way to get the word about Exchange out to our members. and beyond. Thanks, Brad.
Well, thank you. It's been fun.
Okay, why don't we go in reverse this time? Gary, let's start with you. 30-second closing comment, please.
I feel very comfortable the future of exchange is going to be in good hands with any one of the four of us. And that's something that I take great value in sharing with our membership. We all have different leadership styles. Maybe that leadership style we will be need next. We won't know until that person gets elected and starts sitting into the seat next to you, Tracey. So I'm very positive about the future of exchange because of what I see and who I've also worked with in the past.
Thank you. Joe, same question to you. 30 seconds.
Thank you, Tracey. As Gary said, we are all strong exchange leaders, and we've had a lot of strong leadership in the past, great national presidents to lead exchange, but we have not been able to move things forward in building clubs and membership growth as we need to. And so we need to look at that, and I believe that I bring that to this position, being able to look at new strategies and do things a little bit different, motivate people to bring exchange back to its glory days that we all would love to
Thank
see again
you.
in helping our communities.
Jennifer, closing comment, 30 seconds, please.
Yes, well, thanks so much for having this, and I appreciate being involved with this. This is something new and different I've never had before, so thank you very much. If I wasn't running, I would vote for all of you guys, and because you're all wonderful leaders
around here.
So just again, thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing everyone in Phoenix in July.
Thank you. Mike, closing comment.
Well, I think it's basically about the same. I'm just thankful that we have so many people at so many levels who are willing and interested in stepping up to leadership. I feel like our future is bright, and I am honored to be in a position to run for this position. But like Gary said, I'm confident that any of the four of us will do a good job moving us forward. But mostly thank you to our members.
Thanks to each of you. I am very impressed by all of your answers today. And Christy, I've been telling everybody who asks about our candidates this year, we have the best, most qualified candidates this year. I'm thankful for each of you and your interest in continuing your leadership in exchange. We wish you all the best. For all those of you listening, check out all of our episodes. This one focused on the National Exchange Club, and we have a variety of episodes in our catalog. If you are a member listening, we hope you would join us in Phoenix and cast your vote, and get online and register at nationalexchangeclub.org. If you are not currently a member of Exchange, please go to nationalexchangeclub.org to find a club near you. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Talk Exchange. Awesome
There we
job.
go. Nice job, everybody.
And nobody challenged anyone to a duel or anything. And nobody challenged anyone to a duel or anything.
And they